Hey crafty friends, it's Lynn QV and I'm playing with paper and glue. Today I'm excited to bring you day 22 of the Junk Journal Tips, Tricks, and Hacks 2023, hosted by Rach and Bella Crafts. Again, Rachel has organized an amazing collaboration with some great artists and creators. Hopefully you've already been following along. There will be a playlist. Rachel has provided us with a link tree so that you can get to each of the artists. Here we are, February 22nd. Lynn, playing with paper and glue. And our subject today is why ink. Maybe you're new and you've seen a lot of people inking their edges, which seems like non-stop, right? You've seen it. Maybe you're not new and you're not an inker for whatever reason. Nobody says you have to be, but I personally do like inking. And I came up with 5 reasons why you would want to ink. They are distress and aging, distinguish, differentiate, or define, depth and dimension, disguise, hide your boo-boos, and design and decorate. I'm using a couple of Rachel's kits, Letters of Love and Shades of Spring, and you can find those in her coffee shop. I'm going to go trim some of these. We're also going to be doing some fussy cutting, but I'm going to go trim these and I'll be right back. So here's an example of distressing or aging. They're both stamped on a white piece of index card, and I've used a neutral color vintage photo to go around the edges and also made some creases. And we can just add the ink. If the area stands up a bit, it's going to collect the ink there. Okay. And we'd like to do it on the back as well if it's going to be used as a journal card or a tag. So take a look at the difference between the two, and you can definitely see that the ink has helped age this. If I crinkle it like that, I'm going to just set it underneath my mat to get flat while I'm doing something else. Distinguish and differentiate. It's another big reason why I like to ink. And I've got a good example here. So this is a cute little fold-out origami box. And I put a tag on the outside. And you see how, because the colors are so similar, it does kind of blend into the flaps. What if instead we had inked the edges of our tag and put that on, and now it differentiates from the other piece. So this one has not been inked. Let's ink it. The other thing about inking is it is a bit therapeutic. You know, you don't have to think that much. You just move it around. And if you're tired of vintage photos, since everybody uses it, you know, choose a different color. There's lots of neutral colors available. I personally like the tone. But so now we've got either side. So this one blends in. This one differentiates. These little origami boxes are so cute, by the way. Put some little treasures inside there. Depth and dimension. So this is, you know, two-dimensional. But if we were to ink it, all right, let's switch to our darker pink. Now this is where going in different directions can really make a difference. You want to get it from the right, get it from the left, get it from above, get it from below. The green I have is a little bit light, but that's okay. Maybe I'll put a little bit of blue on there. Okay. I like it. Okay, the final reason to ink is disguise. We'll hide any of the little imperfections in cutting or trimming. And I'll show you two really good examples. Okay, here's one. So when I trimmed this, I wasn't perfect with my white edges. See that? And of course, this was printed on white paper, so we've got that as well. So you can take a similar color or a neutral color. Just go up and down and back and forth on these edges. So it's not, at this point, this is not adding a lot of color. It's not even differentiating it or distinguishing it. What it's doing is just hiding the white. Fussy cutting is the other really good example. Let's cut out this beautiful yellow rose. Maybe you don't like fussy cutting. Maybe the reason you don't like fussy cutting is because you have to be so darn perfect. So let me show you a couple things. The first one, and this I learned from Shari over at G45papers.com, is when you're fussy cutting, your hand that is not holding the scissors, so in my case it's my left hand, moves the paper around rather than moving the scissors around. So you basically let the paper do the work. Now I'm going to come back to this part here. I'm going to go around that. And I don't want to lose my thorns, so I'm going to, for now, go here. Let's start. And I like when the design has kind of jagged edges because that's kind of fun to try to get some of those jagged edges. And again, we're just moving the paper around. We're guiding the paper around the scissors. There's the rough cut. Let's go back and get some of our details. The thorns are kind of tricky. Okay, I'm gonna just finish this part. These flowers are from Rachel's kit called Letters of Love. Mostly Valentine images, but you know, these flowers can be used any time of year. Okay, almost. All right. I am just going to get in here a little tiny bit better. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do with this, we've got a couple things to hide. One is that, you know, I left a bit of white around the designs, around the flowers and the leaves. This stuff inside, I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. But let's take our green ink. I'm going to go around the flowers now with the vintage photo. The vintage photo is going to give it that vintage feel. And that's what I'm going to go in here. Oopsie. I'm just kind of dulling the white. Let's do one more color. So that is how we disguise our imperfections. This is our example of design and decorate. So I had just a piece of embossed card, and by inking it off the raised areas, grab the ink, and now the design really shows up. Okay, let's recap. Design and decorate, this versus this. Nice. For depth and dimension, this one versus this one. For distinguish and differentiate, we have our tags that are edged versus a tag that is not. Distress and aging. Oh look, I was able to cut my nails and give myself a mini mani while I was at it. A couple days might have gone by since the last time I was filming. Anyway, you can see. And there might be a place for that. There's nothing wrong with not inking. It's just that that gives it a more vintage feel. And then, of course, disguise. Hide your little imperfections like white edges along the outside. Not necessarily adding any color to the design, just using neutral or similar colors. It gives you a more finished look. And then my favorite, so this one still has the white in the center and around all the edges. It doesn't look bad, right? I mean, I did a fairly good job fussy cutting, but this looks better. Thanks so much for joining me. Be sure and check out all of the artists, the creators that are linked below in the link tree that you can go take a peek at, learn from, and enjoy. I sure would appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up. I would especially appreciate it if you were to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. Tell me why you like to ink or why you don't ink. You know, does it seem like a waste of time and effort to you? Or can you see some benefit that maybe you hadn't seen before? That is it for me. Please come again while we're playing with paper and glue.